Hello, it's Arnold here from the Hanko Football Stadium in Shanghai. My last day before at home. Had a wonderful 2-week trip. Just want to share kind of a couple of tips, key things you might need to know if you're coming to China, how to prepare for it. So 4 items coming up, 3 general ones and 1 specific to English teachers coming here on a sort of a year-long placement. So number 1 will be to get Alipay, because when you are here in China, you do payments, everything is online, cash is kind of frowned upon. I don't think in this particular trip I haven't used my cash at all. So I hope to do that tomorrow at the airport. But yeah, basically everything is online. Everything is done with a QR code, scanning. So you need to be prepared for that, because today one of our teachers asked me, would it work if I bring my UK bank card, and would it be fine with that on public transport and things like that? The answer to that would be absolutely not. So that's not going to work. You need to be set up for Alipay or Chinese payment methods. So Alipay, so it's basically, just going to the App Store, looking for Alipay. It's a quick process. I'm not very good with this sort of stuff myself, but I done that in about 5 minutes. You can then connect it to your British bank card or other countries' sort of any kind of credit or debit card that has a 16-digit card number is fine. It's done within minutes. And then basically Alipay just takes the money from that account, really seamlessly. So the thing to keep in mind there is then also to obviously tell your bank in your own home country that you're going to China, because that could be an issue. And that did happen again to me on this trip where, there was questioned the transaction. So you got to be careful with that and make sure the bank knows you're in China and they would not block the card. So when you then use online payments with Alipay, there's basically 2 golden rules, I would say. And it's been very good this trip. I had issues last summer when I wasn't as prepared, but basically the 2 things to keep in mind are, number 1, that you never ever turn your VPN on when you're making transactions. And I'll talk about VPNs in just a moment, but the VPNs basically give you access to, your Western kind of websites, Google, Facebook, things like that. So you will be using that VPN, but you just need to make absolutely sure every time you kind of go into the metro, go into a shop to buy something, you turn your VPN off, because if it is on, then it clashes with the Chinese system and your payment might fail. So VPN off and Bluetooth on. So that's something you can basically just keep on all the time without fail. You don't have to worry about it again. So Bluetooth on, VPN off, and having Alipay set up, and it will be pretty seamless and it will help a lot. I actually feel that in a weird way, it's kind of helped make life in China more convenient, because you don't often, in most situations, you wouldn't need to speak to anyone if you're worried about the language barrier, which is of course significant. The technology kind of takes care of it and makes that redundant, sort of the language. So, that helps a lot if you're set up and it's very smooth. Okay, item number 2, the VPN. So it's basically what I mentioned, using a piece of software that scrambles the internet essentially and makes it look you're in a different country. The one that I've been using on this trip is V+, and I'll put the link in the description. I used it in the last 2 visits as well, and it's been great. I mean, very occasionally there was slight hiccups here and there on this trip, but by and large, really, really good and really reliable. It costs something like, 10 UK pounds for a 3-month period, so really good. Do it before you leave home, so you don't have to worry about it, and then literally just have that on-off switch ready to go when you're here. 3rd point is basically getting set up on WeChat, because WeChat is kind of WhatsApp, Facebook, roll into one, and many more apps, I guess, like online shopping as well, banking. So it's really important to life in China, and people use it all the time for interaction. So when you're communicating with your Chinese school, if you come here to teach, or Chinese friends, if you're here to visit, like WeChat is going to be a big thing. It's tricky to get on. There's not enough scope in this video to kind of go into exactly how to get onto it. I think there's a few good videos you can find on YouTube about tips to get onto WeChat. You need to register for it. And a key factor is then that you need to get a Chinese person to confirm you, verify you. So if you're coming here to teach, there will probably be someone at your school to kind of help you with that and kind of set you up. If not, maybe a Chinese friend or someone else. So yeah, it will be a little bit of a tricky process to get on, but once you're on, it's great and it's very efficient and a fantastic way to communicate. Final point, for those coming out to teach, bringing hard copies of your legalized authenticated documents is really important. So you've done a couple of months of work to get your Chinese work visa approved and getting everything ready. But after that, after doing all that and getting your documents checked by lawyers or your local government or your state government, you will still need to bring those documents to China, because there would be another process, basically converting your work visa into a residence permit. And for that process, hard copies of the legalized documents are needed. So that is, if you're packing, if you're watching this just before you come out, keep that in mind, because it's really, really important. And if you don't bring them, you might need family or friends to send them over to you in that first month, which is obviously not really what you want. So yeah, some quick tips there on life in China. I've been here a couple of times in recent months and years. If you want any help, please, contact me. My link's in the description, and I'd love to help you. Thank you.